The next few minutes are specifically to your future self. Don't flake on it. Come on, son. 2006. I'm 12 years old. I'm lying on my bed late into the night and I can't sleep. I'm wrestling with the thought. This thought came after I started questioning the reality of my existence. What am I doing here? Is my existence just to go to school and learn? Then go to work and earn? Eat, sleep, go to the toilet, and eventually wither away and die? Then the thought came, who am I? And since that day, my question has been the focal point of my life. Wondering, who am I? What is my purpose and mission within this current existence? And one thing that has continuously made it possible for that question to be continuously unfolded and to be answered is the art of personal development. Hey there, game changers. Neil here, your personal mindset coach. Welcome back to Mentality, your go-to channel to level up your mindset and emotions and receive the tools needed to be the best version of yourself. Today, we're diving into the third part of our Game Changers series. We are exploring the never-ending, ever-expanding world of personal development. This one area, if you make it a priority, would allow you to effortlessly master and achieve all of the other areas in this series automatically. Because you are in a state of constant and continuous development. You are constantly working on removing the imperfections, chiseling away at the finer details, making the small adjustments that makes the big difference when compounded. So let's jump in and explore the mindset that you need to adopt to continually work on yourself. As I mentioned in Mindset Mastery, now if you haven't seen it, check it out here. I'll leave it in the cards. And also goal setting and planning. One of the main keys to developing yourself is to have a growth mindset. So how does that look? What does it entail? How do you know you have adopted a growth mindset? 1. Make learning a priority. You must make up your mind that you are going to become the best version of yourself and firmly establish that you are going to make every day of your life your classroom. You are going to use every opportunity that presents itself. Maybe that you're speaking to someone, doing a regular task or a hobby, making plans, doing work, whatever you may encounter during the day must be used to improve the way you communicate, your posture, your ethics, your standards. It must all be directed to maintaining or growing to the highest level of knowledge and realization that you currently have. So here's what I want you to do. Pause the video and commit right now to developing a growth mindset. And don't worry, I'll explain the growing part of that mindset of the plan soon. But when you come back from pausing the video, go to the comments and comment, I committed. Alright, great. So now that you have made that commitment, we can complete the next few steps, which from this day forward will be a continuous cycle of growth, change, and review and repeat. 2. Read, listen, learn. Every day must be continually exposure of yourself to new forms of information that grows your knowledge base. You would want to read and listen to books. I personally learn better and faster by listening to audiobooks. I find that it helps me to learn more effectively. But whichever one you find helps you to learn more effectively, maybe reading the book or listen to it, you do that. Listen to lectures, podcasts, look at biographies, documentaries, listen to speakers, go to conventions. In both your specific area that you're working on, that you want to develop in, maybe it is in finances, maybe it's into architecture, maybe it is into landscaping, painting, whatever it is, and you want to become the highest version of yourself in that area, but also in the broad general aspect. So even though I'm into mindset coaching and into health and fitness and stuff, I still listen to economics, I still listen to business on a general scale, I still listen to tech, I listen to the financial markets and the stock, and because each of those still has the fundamental basis of success underlying that builds up those empires or organizations. Right? So I'll put a link in the description that will contain some of the best books, persons, and resources that you should use. Right? If you don't know where to get started, there are some of the persons that I would have followed in the past, some of them that I'm following right now. Alright, that would have shaped and helped me to become more confident in myself and build me in my development personally. 3. Contemplate and implement. So each time you have acquired a new piece of information, you must go through a period of contemplation where you analyze and inquire about yourself, where you look at and you compare what you are currently doing and see where this information can be applied to your life. Where can it be applied to your life, and how soon you are going to start implementing it? In all honesty, the best time to start implementing a practice is right now. The best chance to start for your highest possibility of success is always right now. But if the knowledge that you have learned requires a specific environment, for example, maybe shaking someone's hands, and you're not around right now to practice shaking someone's hands, or if it's the conversation that you're going to have when it is you're in a gala, or when it is you're in a business meeting or convention, or if it is the way that's how you would probably take a bus or walk or whatever it is, and that environment needs to be there for that to happen, then the first instance that event occur, you implement it one time and start doing it from there. You should meditate on how often this information can improve your life. So meditate as often as possible, and you want to see as many ways as possible you can see that this information is going to improve your life and how you can use it to improve your life. And the moment you receive the new info and you make that commitment, immediately start implementing and sticking with it until it becomes a habit. For example, making eye contact and engaging in non-verbal communication. So for me, right now, what I'm trying to learn to do is become better at angling. I'm still trying to figure out where does my eye have to look at for my camera on my device. Sometimes I'm looking and thinking I'm looking at the camera straight, but after when I look back, I see that I'm looking sideways or I'm looking down. So I'm trying to figure out now. Each video I'm doing, I'm implementing strategies and tactics as to how can I get my focus to be at the audience as much as possible. All right. But let's say that you're making eye contact in person and you want to engage in non-verbal cues, using your hands or not using your hands, facial expressions, matching a person's posture, all of these things. After you learn that, maybe from me saying it, reading a book, listening to a podcast, looking at some lecture talking about that, what you would want to do now, from that point onward, until it is mastered, you have to practice that on every occasion you have. It may be shaking a child's hand, a lady's hand, a man's hand, a business deal, there's a friend meeting up. Every time you shake someone's hands from that point in time and you're going to engage in conversation with that person, what you want to do is practice. It must be practice for you. You must not just be shaking that person's hand because they put their hand to shake. You must observe your grip. You must observe the intensity that you're shaking with. You must make sure even though the person is shaking twice, you do not give to that twice shake. And if you're the one that controlling the shake, you do the one solid shake. Alright? Same can be said for anything. My mind just went blank there. Anything. This thing can be said for anything. Like whatever it is you're going to be engaging in that you learn from, every opportunity, use that to practice and improving the quality of it until you master it. So for example, with a handshake, until someone says to you, wow, that's a great handshake, and it happened to me. I worked on my handshake to the point when I shaked a couple person's hands, they actually complimented me on the level of my handshake, and then I knew that okay, for someone to compliment you on this, it means it's above normal. Guys, if you have been receiving value from this video or even from this series and you want to say thanks, your way of thanking is if you consider liking and sharing this video to someone who you believe needs this information and these guides. Let's get back into the last point and finish up the video. Lastly, or fourthly, you want to have regular review and reflection. You want to have check-ins with yourself to gauge where you are relative to where you have been and where you are going. Now, it must be noted that heavy emphasis shouldn't really be placed on this because personal development is a continuous lifelong journey that never ends. This reflection really is more for you to be able to get a sense of the amount of work you have done thus far and give yourself a pat on the back. It's for staying committed to your personal growth and your success. It is also a time to allow you to see any areas you have neglected, need to focus on more, or if you're over prioritizing, right? If you're over prioritizing this specific area based on your current needs at the moment. So sometimes you're doing something and not necessarily because it's developing you personally means it's benefiting you right now. For example, like right now, you might be working on, let's say, like for example, for me, I'm working on YouTube right now. Me developing my handshake, and I'm knowing that for the next couple of months, I'm not going to be actually doing that on a regular basis. I don't need to, but at that time in my life, I was engaging in weekly meetings, meeting a lot of persons. I was into sales at that time, so I developed that aspect. At that time, I wasn't focused on developing my camera skills or anything like that. I wasn't focused on developing my editing skills. So what I'm saying, your personal development must be relevant as well to what you're currently doing and developing in your area, even though sometimes it may also be broad. It must always be this specific and broad aspect at the same time, this balance between it. So doing this regular reflection will allow you to not over prioritize anything based on your current needs in the moment, and reviewing will really highlight this if it's something that is doing that. These reflections and reviews can be done either daily, weekly, or monthly, but a full overview of it and a full readjustment of it should be taking place at least once for the year. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Old Year's or New Year's Day. This can be a year from the day that you make the decision that you want to change and develop yourself. So for me, it's October. So about 10 to 12 years ago, around October is when I really decided, you know what, I'm going to start making these commitments. And from that time, I said to myself, by this time next year, October, my life will be much better than right now. And I work towards it. And every October, I review and I look back and I say to myself, did I improve to the degree I could have from last year? It allows me to now take stock of whether or not I fell short in certain areas, okay? And where relative to where I need to progress and grow to in the future. So key takeaways from this episode is 1. Make personal development a daily, lifelong practice. 2. Learn something new every day and make it a daily habit of doing so. 3. You can only develop if you implement and practice what you have learned. If you don't practice it, it will not become a part of your personal development. It will just become head knowledge. And 4, you have regular reviews and check-ins to see where you're at and to see how far you need to grow again. See you guys next time.